Good morning, class. Today's lectures we're going to discuss about there is another cases of second order homogeneous linear ordinary differential equation. So last lectures we already discussed about there is a second order differential equations, and there three methods there are three roots of these equations. If roots are real and distinct, roots are equal, and roots are complex conjugate pair. So in last lectures we complete one case that will be roots be real and distinct. Okay, so today's lectures we are going to discuss about there is another case of this equation, that will be let the roots of equation be real and equal, be real and equal. Okay, so what is our actual equations? That will be equations we discussed about in previous lectures is d square plus a1 d plus a2 is equals to 0. Okay, so this is auxiliary equations, and we find out the values of a, b, c, and we also find out the equation of this solution of this equation. So if roots of given equations are real and equal, then what happen? Let us consider, let m1 is equals to m2 is equals to m. It means roots are equal. In previous cases we discuss about, so see, previous cases we discuss about let m1 and m2 are the roots of the equations. It means this equation d1 square d square plus a1d plus a2. So roots are different. Okay, distance is different, m1 and m2. So in this case we discuss about their roots are equal. That will be m1 and m2 is equals to m. So now we modified these equations. Which equations? D square a1d plus a2 is equals to 0. So d minus m and d minus m of y is equals to 0. Okay, so let d minus m of y is equals to y1 of x. Okay, because here the two functions are there. Okay, so one function is called as a y and another function is called as a y1. So we consider this, let d minus m of y is equals to y1 of x. Then this equation becomes d minus m of y1 is equals to 0, or you know what is d? D is equals to d by dx. Okay, so we modify these equations. So now d by dx of minus m into y1 is equals to 0, because this d is represented as a d by dx minus m, y1 is equals to 0. Okay, so then multiplied these equations, dy1 upon dx minus my1 is equals to 0. So we modified these equations. How to modify? That will be dy1 upon dx is equals to this minus term is goes to opposite side, then it will be positive. That will be written as my1. Okay, then this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2, this is equation number 3. We integrate these equations 3, so integrate and find out the solution of that given equation for roots real and equal. Integrating above equation, so dy1 upon y1 is equals to m into dx. Why write this type? Because this dx is here divided, it goes to opposite side, then it will be multiplied, and this y1 is here multiplied, it goes to opposite side, then it will be divided. So we rearrange this equation and integrate. So dy1 upon y1, that will be ln of y1, okay, is equals to m into x plus ln of c1. Ln of c1 is a integrating constant. Okay, so this ln of c1 Means here added, it goes to opposite side, then it will be subtracted. So ln of y1 minus ln of c1 is equals to mx. So now according to log property, these equations or this term will be written as, this term will be written as ln of y1 upon c1 is equals to mx. Okay, so now removing log, then what happen? It will be written as y1 upon c1 is equals to e raised to mx. It is same like a previous property. See here. Here we discuss about there is ln of y1 upon c1 is equals to m1 of x. But instead of this m1, here we use m because the roots are equal. So if you remove the log, then what happen? Y1 upon, see here, y1 upon c1 is equals to e raised to mx. So this also written as, therefore y1 is equals to c1 e raised to mx. It means if you remove the log, then the opposite side term, it will be written in the form of exponential term. Okay, so this is equation number 4. So now here we get values of y1 and we put this value in equation 2. Where is equation 2? See here clearly. See this is equation number 3. D minus m of y1 of x is equals to y1 of x. This is equation number 2. So now we substitute y1 is equals to c1 e raised to mx value in this equation. Then what we get? We get such a types of equations. See here clearly. D minus m of y is equals to values of y1, that will be c1 e raised to mx. So you know value of d is what? That will be d by dx. D by dx of minus m into y is equals to c1 e raised to mx, and dy by dx minus my is equals to c1 of e raised to mx. So this equation is linear first order differential equation. So this equation is this equation number next, I think we has completed 4. So this equation is 5. So this equation is a linear first order differential equation. See, in general first order differential equations, we already discussed about the linear first order differential equation. See, this is linear first order differential equation is what? That will be dy by dx plus p of x of y and q is equals to q of x. So this part is already done in previous lecture. The video we already sent in previous lecture. So see this is the equations. So these equations we studied in last 2 lectures. Okay, so we use same equations because this equation and these equations are same. So here values of p, because p is also function of x, but its variable is y. Okay, so the values of p is what? Therefore p is equals to minus m, and that will be a minus m. Why? Because here is a y and here is a y. Okay, so see this carefully. There is p of x is represented as a m. Okay, so y variable of these two terms are same, so that's why we call value of p is equals to m, and value of q of x is equals to, what is value of q of x? It will be written as c1 e raised to m1 x, c1 e raised to mx. This is the values of q of x. So then now you know phi is equals to what? That will be minus p of x dx. Okay, and here values of p of x is what? That will be m. So we put then minus m dx is equals to minus mx, because you know there will be integration of dx, it will be x. So m into minus m into x. Then integrating factor is what? That will be e raised to phi. E raised to phi is equals to e raised to minus mx. That will be this is the integrating factor, because in first order differential equation we find out the two types of solutions. One of them is the complex solutions and particular integral. So this e raised to phi, it will be a integrating factor. So now the solution of that solution of this equation 5, solution of equation 5 is what? Solution of equation 5 is y is equals to e raised to mx into e raised to minus mx c1 e raised to mx dx plus c2 e raised to mx. Okay, so now if we multiply this e raised to mx in inside the bracket, then what happen? This here is already c1 are there, so e raised to dx integration will be x. Okay, and c2 is the out of that side, then what happening? There we write c1 x into now first we solve these equations. That will be e raised to mx into this e raised to mx, this e raised to mx, and this all this quantity is the outside of the bracket. Then remaining term is only dx or dx. So e raised to mx, e raised to minus mx into e raised to mx. C1 is also constant, dx plus c2 e raised to mx. Okay, so here the thing is what? E raised to mx minus this will be minus and this will be plus, so it will be written as like this: e raised to mx, e raised to mx right first, minus mx, so this right second. Okay, into c1 integration of this dx, it will be x plus c2 e raised to mx as it is. Then see mx minus mx, it will be 0, and e raised to 0 value will be 1. So that's why we write e raised to mx into c1 of x plus c2 of e raised to mx. So there is a bracket mistake here. This is the different thing and this is the different thing. So here only c raised to 1, this e raised to mx multiply only this factor. Okay, so this is different and this is also different. So remaining term is what? That will be e raised to mx c1 e raised to mx into x plus c2 e raised to mx. So now thing is what? Here is e raised to mx and here is e raised to mx. So it will be common out and it's written in the outside of the bracket. So we get e raised to mx x into c1 plus c2. So this is values of y, and this is the solution of that equations. And you know, therefore c1 and c2 is what? There will be arbitrary constant. This is solution of the equations 5. The equations are given here. See, the equations are given here. Equation number 5 are given here. The solution of that equation y is equals to e raised to mx x into c1 plus c2. Y is equals to y is equals to e raised to mx x into c1 plus c2. This is our complete equations. Okay. So this equation is also represent the solution of this equation. Those are already discussed in previous lecture. See here, this equation 1, that will be d2y upon dx square plus a1 dy by dx plus a2 of y is equals to 0. Okay, so equation 6 is the solution of these equations when the roots are real and equal. If roots are real and equal, then we find the solution as like this. Okay, so this is the total solution of that roots of real and equal. So using these equations we find out the solution. So now there is a last case is remaining. So now last case is what? Roots of roots are complex conjugate pair. Complex conjugate pair. Okay, so therefore where is our actual equation? That will be written as C, d square plus a1d plus a2 is equal to 0. This is last condition, the roots are complex conjugate pair. So these two conditions are done. So we now we will be discussing about the roots are complex conjugate pair. So here we write the equations. Equation is what? D square plus a1d plus a2 is equals to 0. So this is our actual equations. So here we use the name. Our last equation is what? That will be 6. And this equation is A because this equation is repeated in 3 times, in first case, second case as well as third case. Okay. So condition is what? When a1 square is less than 4a2, then roots be, let the roots be, it means the root in root term it will be imaginary terms. Okay, so what is our actual equations of this? See, d is equals to minus a1 plus a1 root of a1 square minus 4a2 upon 2. Okay, so what is our conditions? This a1 is less than this term, it means a1 is very small, then the root term will be negative, and the root term is negative, then we call it the given term is the imaginary term, and so that's why we find out the solution of that equations using a conditions complex conjugate pair. Okay, so this is the last conditions, a1 square is less than equals to 4a2. Okay, so let the roots be m1 is equals to alpha plus I beta and m2 is equals to alpha minus I beta. So here we already discussing about what is m1 and m2. m1 and m2 are the roots of that given equations, but the root term will be negative, so that's why the function will be imaginary. So one function is called m1 is alpha plus I beta and m2 is what? Alpha minus I beta. So substituting m1 and m2 in first case solution, where what is actual first case solution equation? So I write here equations. Y is equals to c1 e raised to m1x plus c2 e raised to m2x. Okay, so this equation is already done in previous lecture. Here, so see this equation, y is equal to c1 e raised to m1x, c2 e raised to m2x. Okay, c1 and c2 both are the arbitrary constant. So here we choose the roots that will be value of m1 and m2. So that's why we use these equations here. So I write these equations here. Y is equals to c1 e raised to m1x plus c2 e raised to m2x. Okay, then what happening there? So put this value m1 and m2 in these equations. Here we put m1 and here we put m2. So y is equals to c1 e raised to value of m1, that will be alpha plus I beta, and value of m2 will be alpha minus I beta into x. Okay, so now multiply this factor e raised to alpha and beta, because y is equal to c1 e raised to alpha into e raised to I beta x x multiplied by these equations, and meaning of this equation, there is a multiplication factor. So C2 e raised to alpha x into e raised to minus I beta x. Okay, so now here common term is what? E raised to alpha x and e raised to alpha x. So it will be outside, written outside the bracket. So here we write another equation, that will be y is equals to e raised to alpha x. It is outside of the bracket. In bracket c1 e raised to I beta x plus c2 e raised to minus I beta x, because this term is negative, because here negative signs. Okay, minus beta x. Okay, so you know there is a functions or exponential function. It will be written as what? E raised to I theta plus or minus I theta. When it is plus, then it will be written as a cos theta plus I sin theta when the sign is plus, and when the sign is minus, then it will be written as a minus. So that's why cos theta plus or minus I sin theta, because this is a exponential term, and here we discussing about there is imaginary term, because our solution is what? Complex conjugate here. So e raised to I theta, it will be represent the formula of e raised to I theta. It will represent as cos theta plus I sin theta, but this is actual formula. Here gives the function is what? E raised to I beta x. Okay, so we write these two equations. First one is what? E raised to I beta x using this formula, that will be cos beta x plus I sin beta x. This is for plus, and for minus e raised to minus I beta x. Here I am not write I, so here you write I beta x. E raised to minus beta x will be I beta x cos beta x minus I sin beta x. Okay, so now we put all these value in this equation. So this equation will be called C equations, and this D. Okay, so put D in C, put D in C. What we get? We get y is equals to e raised to alpha x, c1 is as it is. C1 value of e raised to beta x, it will be cos beta x plus I sin beta x plus C2 into cos beta x minus I sin beta x. Okay, then e raised to alpha x is equals to c1 cos beta x plus c1 I sin beta x plus c2 cos beta x minus c2 I sin beta x. Okay, so now here c1 cos beta x is common, here is also cos beta x common, and here sin beta x is common, and here sin beta x is common. So then what happens? We write this equation again, that will be e raised to alpha x equals to c1 plus c2 into cos beta x, because here is cos beta x, here is cos beta x. C1 plus C2 into cos beta x plus here is sin beta x, here is sin beta x. I C1 minus I C2 into sin beta x. So therefore, have we introduced new terms, that will be C1 plus C2 is equals to A. Let us consider C1 plus C2 is equals to A, and IC1 minus IC2 is equals to B. So modified equation E. Now we modified this equation because Values of C1, C1 plus C2 is what? It will be A, and values of IC1 minus IC2, it will be B. For our convenience, just let us consider about this. So we write this equation again. Instead of this, we write A cos beta x, plus instead of this we write B sin beta x. Okay, so this equation is called F equations. Let A is equals to C1 sin C2 and B is equals to C1 cos C2. Okay, so it means instead of this A we substitute C1 sin C2, and instead of this B, C1 cos C2. So what is our actual equations? Our equation is what? Y is equals to e raised to alpha x, A cos beta x plus B sin beta x. Okay, so instead of A and B we substitute another value. First I again write here equations. Y is equals to e raised to alpha x, A cos beta x plus B sin beta x. So instead of this B and A we substitute these two values. So we get Y is equals to e raised to alpha x is outside of the bracket as it is. Values of A is what? C1 sin C2, C1 sin C2 cos beta x plus values of B, C1 cos C2 sin beta x. And you know what is this? Sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. It is the formula of sin A plus B. Okay, so we write these equations. Y is equals to so here thing is what this C1 and C1 are common. This is a angle factor. C2 and this C2 is an angle factor. So this C1 is a outside of the bracket, and we write C1 e raised to alpha x into sin C2 cos beta x plus cos C2 sin beta x. This is the formula of sin A plus B, or we again modified this. So y is equals to C1 e raised to alpha x sin of beta x plus C2. Okay, it means if we rearrange this equation, then we get such a types of equations, or sin C2 plus beta x. In plus there is a no matter. Okay, so y is equals to C1 e raised to alpha x sin beta x plus C2. This is the another equation that will be if we call it this equation C. This is final solution of that given equation for when the roots are complex conjugate pair. So equation C, it means this y is equals to e raised to alpha x C2 C1 e raised to beta x plus C2 e raised to minus beta x. So this equation C1 e raised to I beta x plus C2 e raised to beta x. C equation F, this is last equation, that will be equation F. Y is equals to e raised to alpha x, A cos beta x, B sin beta x, equation F. And this is last equations, equation G. So these three equations are the solution. These three equations are the solutions of equation second order differential equations. Okay, these are the alternative forms of second order differential equation when the roots are complex conjugate pairs. So equation which equation? This equation C, F and G. Equation C, F and G are the alternative forms of solution of equation second order homogeneous equation. It means this equation. See, in first lecture we already discussed about this equation, d2y by dx plus a1 dy by dx plus a2 of y is equal to 0. So this is the solution. These are the three alternate solution of these equations when the roots are complex conjugate pair. Okay, so here complete this point. If you have any doubt, then send your doubts in comment box. Thank you.